Well, hello, Martha. This is Lindsey Graham, U.S. Senator from South Carolina. I want to thank you for inviting me on your show this morning and to announce to the public that me, Lindsey Graham, is going to have Mornings with Lindsey Graham every morning at 8 a.m. to 8:05. Lindsey Graham is going to keep you updated on what's going on in Washington, D.C. That you can count on me, the straight shooter, always telling the truth, never changing his mind, keeping his opinions straight and narrow, straight down the road. You know where I am. I'm on that highway going straight. I'm never turning around doing a U-turn and coming back the other way like all these other politicians. So you know you're getting straight from me. But can I just tell you a little bit about who I am and why I am the way I am and who I came to be. It's just a little story about how I grew up in a little small town called Central South Carolina, right down there near Clemson over there. About 3,000 or 4,000 people. It was like a real Mayberry if you ever had it, but you had a little bit of, the bar action and stuff like that there. And that's what I want to tell you. I grew up and my parents had a little restaurant, bar, liquor store, billiards place right there. And I grew up in the back room. And in that back room, I shared the bathroom with all the customers from the bar. Men, rough men, real men, who used to come in from the mills. And that's where I learned really how to deal and talk to people. These men, they were chewing tobacco kind of men. They just sometimes spit on the floor right there in front of the bathroom, right in front of my bedroom there. And I just figured that's how men act. But they were strong men, big men, little men. They argued, they fought. This is what I saw. And over on the other little side, you had a little cafe where the women came in with the men on Sunday afternoons to have a little meal there. And they knew how to treat their women. They knew how to treat women in those days. They wouldn't let a woman drink a beer out of the bottle like that. The women poured it in a glass and drank it like that, sometimes with a little pinky out like that, how women should be. That's when we knew what a man and a woman was. The world's upside down, people. What's in is out, left is right, up is down. But I'm a freedom fighting for democracy senator. You can count on me. And there's one little other story I just came to my mind that I want your viewers to know before I sign off this morning. When I was a little boy, I loved my grandma. I'd go up to her porch in the summer times and the wind was blowing there, wafting through the trees. She'd make some peach cobbler pie with some sweetened tea. And in those days, she didn't mean nothing by when talking about Chinese people this way. But we had a little Chinese restaurant down the block on Main and Waverly over there. And she sometimes say, "Lindsey, are you hungry today?" And I say, "Yes, Grandma." She said, "Will you go down there to the Chinks for me to get me some egg foo young?" And I said, "I sure don't go down there." Now, we don't call it that anymore. We call it a Chinese restaurant. But those days, that's what people said, and they didn't mean nothing by it. But we sit there on the porch, and we'd enjoy that peach cobbler, sweetened tea, and that egg foo young. Those are two little stories of how I grew up in Central South Carolina, which made me the man I am today. The straight talking, right down the highway, Lindsey Graham. You can always count on me for telling you the truth. Never changing my mind, sticking to what the facts are, fighting for freedom and democracy. Thank you, Martha. Until tomorrow morning, where breakfast, well, we can call it breakfast with Lindsey, but we call it mornings with Lindsey. Thank you, Martha, for letting me on your network. This is Lindsey Graham, Senator from South Carolina, signing off. See you later, all.